Tim Alderson, our playwright, first of all, he's one of the nicest men you'll ever meet. Um, and he's unassuming. Um, but having lived with this play now for going on 3 years, and it's his first play, um, it is so deep and just chock full of, I guess I would say, humanity. It seems like every day we're together, we find something new in it. Like I said, it's about big themes like redemption and forgiveness and dreams. Um, but he really understands the human experience too. Um, he's lived an amazing life. He comes from farming. Like I said, he has some experience in the music business too. And he, he's got an amazing breadth of life experience. But you live with the play a little bit and you realize he really understands human beings and what makes them tick and what their struggle is. And I remember one day I asked him something personal about the play and how it uh, reflected his own personal life. And he said something to the effect that uh, that it was about questions, because after all, isn't that what we're all full of? It's been a really great experience to get to say his words. Hey, this is David Atkinson. I play preacher in the show Salvage, which is playing right now at the Hudson Theater. If you'd like to know more about the show, hang around a few minutes and hear us talk about it. Michael Donovan, the casting director on this show, has really been a champion of mine. Um, you can hear my voice is a little uh, strange. So I can't work in every musical. But Michael knows me and appreciates me, and he called me in for this show. Um, I really wasn't interested in doing it because I belong to a theater company of my own. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do a smaller theater show, it's going to be at my own theater. But I wanted to go because I love Michael and I appreciate the way he goes to bat for me. Um, and I really thought if I got it, I may just turn it down. Small theaters, significant time and energy commitment in Los Angeles. Then I got a call back, and by the time I had read the entire play and heard the music, I was just hooked. And so at that point, I was really on board with it. I read the play, and the play is very good, but the dramatic action is very dependent on great songs. And when I read it, I said, boy, if these songs aren't fantastic, this play won't work. And the first time I heard the songs, I just said, okay, I'm in, because they are just some killer, drop dead killer songs. It takes place in a bar room, not a very popular bar room. There's a bartender there and this old guy um, who sits around all day drinking too much and playing his guitar, singing mostly woe is me songs. He's given up on life. He's hurt people. He's hurt himself. He's convinced himself that he's no good to anybody for anything, and he's given up. This is his life. He comes in there every day. Um, the bar is somewhat famous because a legendary musician um, died there. So it seems that some young people make a pilgrimage to this bar to see the place. Um, and this young guy comes in and he's amazed that this is the place. Well, he's about to pawn his guitar. He's a young singer-songwriter, like the old guy preacher. But he's about to pawn his guitar because his wife is pregnant. He's got to grow up and get a real job and become a father. Um, The old guy recognizes that he has some talent, and he starts to challenge him not to give up his dreams. And the young guy starts to challenge the old guy that, hey, your life isn't over. You're not worthless. And so the two of these guys, through the songwriting experience they've had, through music and life, they start to try and save each other. So I won't tell you what happens in the end, but that's basically the plot. It's just incredible. Tim Alderson, the writer, he has some background in the music business, and he knew these writers. And these writers are people that, if you say their name in Nashville, people, know who they are. The average person doesn't, because they're primarily writers and not performers. That's roughly true. Some of them perform more than others, but Tim handpicked these songs from these several writers to fit exactly the play. And like I said before, there's several times in the show where the moment just would not work if the song doesn't just gut you and rip your heart out. And these songs do. There's also some music in the show from Johnny Cash and Hank Williams and Buck Owens, some classic country artists. But most of these songs the audience will have not heard before, and they will be susceptible to having their hearts, trampled by them. Well, we've had a new experience, as the audience may know. And we did the show once before. I did the show once before, right before COVID. It's a 4-character show, and 2 of the actors are new in this iteration. Leonard Earl Howes is our bartender. He owns the bar. His daddy owned the bar. And Leonard, you would know his face. He's on television a lot. He's a big man. And he just brings a ton of energy from the word go. You can't help but be drawn in, because he starts, the needle is already on 60. He's the only character in the show that doesn't really sing, but in some ways, he's the moral center of the show. So he drives a lot of it. The other 2 characters are the young man who I said comes in. His name's Harley, played by Sam O'Byrne. And his wife actually comes in and out a couple of times, Nat'l. They're new to the cast, and it's been a lot of fun working them in. They bring different energy than the actors we had before, different voices, just a fresh perspective. Sam is a little more, he's got some abandon about him, like you might imagine a young musician type traveling the country, playing in bars, might have. And Nat'l plays the character Destiny. She is the most stable person in the show. Despite having some significant wounds the character has from childhood, and Nat'l just comes in and is just amazingly grounded. So the rest of us are bouncing off the walls to her groundedness. It's a really sweet cast. And Damian D. Lewis, our director, I told the cast when we started, people say musical theater is the most collaborative art form. You never meet a more collaborative spirit than Damian. He's very accomplished as an actor and director, knows what he's doing, but he doesn't have so much pride in it that he can't hear ideas and work with people to head a direction that they feel strongly about. I really found that out over time with him. He's an incredible presence in the room. What do I want the audience to get out of the play? Because it really is a play about something, more so than most. It's a play about mistakes and redemption and forgiveness, and following your dreams, that might be the thing that I would communicate most to someone. We hear it a lot. Follow your dreams, follow your dreams. And sometimes it's not practical. And it's hard for an artist. I remember as a younger actor, every 5 years I would ask myself, should I quit and become a real person? I'm only 30, I'm only 35, I'm only 38. There's still time for me to get a real job and build a career and a life. And but if I quit now, a big break might happen next week. And it's a real struggle for artists, actors. And this play discusses that in a very practical, grown-up way. It's not just starry-eyed, follow your dreams and everything will be great. The wife is pregnant. There's a baby right there on the way. And the young guy has already been at it for some years without hitting success. This play talks about that. What is that thing about following dreams? I think in the end, it's still hopeful and positive about following dreams, but it doesn't sugarcoat it either. These are real people that struggle. I think the reason people should or must come to see our show, you hear this a lot, but Salvage is unlike anything they've seen before. I mean, first of all, it's not a musical. And so it's referred to as a play with music, which we've seen before. But this show is even different again, because it's about songwriters. So the songs come out organically. Two songwriters sitting in a room might say, hey, let me show you this thing I've been working on. And then I play a song. So the songs aren't sort of shoehorned into the action in some sort of way that the audience has to forgive. That's a very new thing or something I've never seen before. And I think the audience will really get a kick out of it. And then on top of that, like I said before, and I wish I had a better phrase, but this show is really about something in a way that is unusual. I've said to the other actors in my experience that characters in this play, more than any play I've ever worked on, they say what they mean. Usually the actors and the audience, they're trying to figure out what the actor really means, or what is the subtext. And there's backstory in this play. It's not that it's shallow, but these are people who are all after something and don't have time to play around. So they say what they mean. And that brings an immediacy to the play that's unusual, I think. Our producers really are fantastic theater planners. Raquel and Misha, I don't think I've ever worked in a show that was so intent on taking care of their people and giving the audience the experience they deserve. I just think we've all the way around, from the creatives, the acting, the music, the production, the theater itself, the people at the Hudson have been great. I really think it's worth your while to come see us. Hey everybody, I'm David Atkinson. I play the role of Preacher in Salvage, which is running right now at the Hudson Theater in Hollywood. We sure hope you'll come and see us. You will not be sorry. This show is unlike anything you've seen before. Come see us.